It's a Thursday. It's the third day of April 2025. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's Railroad Heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope Legend. Glen Rockbo's scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, more like winter than spring, as we mentioned yesterday, and you're going to have some views like this with some fresh snow in the mountains and still some very chilly conditions. Even for early April, temperatures are going to be well below average. We have two troughs of low pressure working together. Now, if both of these had merged, we'd end up with a very intense storm, but they're kind of staying separate, but they will work together to keep temperatures well below average all across the west through the weekend. Some areas of rain and snow will be noted. We are going to get a little bit of needed precipitation for folks in New Mexico and southern Colorado and Kansas, but there'll be pockets elsewhere of rain and snow here over the next 48 to 72 hours. Then we transition into a break in the weather. High pressure starts to come back in, and we will see warmer temperatures. You'll start to notice it getting a little warmer Sunday. It'll still be a little cool. But Monday through Friday of next week will warm up. However, there will be a couple of little weather systems kind of crashing through the high pressure ridge. So a little bit of scattered shower and thunderstorm activity next week will still be possible at times. But it'll be more of a high pressure dominated pattern before things begin to change after next week, probably late in the following weekend. Now there's a springtime shot. Got the tractor ready to go and fresh snow on the east slopes of the Wind River Mountains there. And look at those clouds there in the background. The atmosphere, the clouds, the sky will tell you a lot in terms of the time of year that we're at. And boy, there's a great picture that really sums it all up. Well, is this picture here from Owens Valley, California. And then a lot of gray, dark clouds with Virga there and some shower activity across the high plains yesterday. And then we have those puffy clouds that are starting to grow vertically. Now, Sabine had some fun here. What does that look like to you? Everybody can look at a cloud and see something different, but sure looks like a dog there to me, doesn't it? Thanks for putting that together and sending that in. That's always fun. It's always fun to look up and see what you can see. Another spectacular shot of those deep blue western skies with a wannabe thunderstorm trying to build there along the Wind River Mountains yesterday out of Pinedale. So you can still see a lot of snow on the ground, a lot of snow still on the mountain slopes, and there'll be plenty more with the cold weather here over the next 2 or 3 days. The satellite photo shows well the two systems. We have a swirl of clouds now, a little bit more organization in the Four Corners area here, but it's not very expansive. However, the low here and the counterclockwise circulation around it will bring some of this moisture in those clouds that you see northward. And this is going to be producing some rain and snow up here out ahead of it later today and tonight. Here's the low that's been moving through here over the last couple of days. And then here's another trough of low pressure right here. That low up here and this low right here will stay apart. But this one will swing through this way. This one's going to come in right in behind it over the next 48 hours. And you'll see that well here on the map. Surface map still shows a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity and heavy rain where we highlighted those areas yesterday from northeast Texas into the Ohio Valley. When we take a look at the pattern by noon today, you can see where the two lows are that we just showed you on the satellite imagery. Notice the flow of air out of Canada coming deep south into the western United States. So that's why it's going to be so cool here over the next few days. This system will bring moisture upwards today. This wave right here is going to bring moisture to Montana and areas to the north later today and tonight, then push that cold air south. So the first wave of precipitation through tonight, this is from that low we showed you up into Canada. That's going to produce Montana, some snow and rain, into North Dakota, far northern areas of Wyoming. While that wave that's down here is bringing this axis of moisture here today. And then we also have showers and thunderstorms developing down there in Texas. So we've got these two areas. They're going to stay apart, not merging. But we will see some wintry weather in these darker green areas, the gray areas with some showers. And you're going to see an axis of heavier moisture, rain and snow over a narrow band along the Kansas-Colorado border into southwest Nebraska here. So this basically gets us through tonight. By noon tomorrow, we have that cold front from that wave up there coming through. This system kind of stalls out a little bit and slows down. So we're still in a very cold regime here underneath that trough. That's going to produce moisture like this Friday into Saturday morning. So more moisture for North and South Dakota. There's going to be a little axis of snow up here into central Wyoming and along the Pine Ridge. And then we're going to see that heavier moisture in far southern Colorado and northern New Mexico forming late Friday into Saturday, as that low will be hanging down there for a little bit longer. You put both together. This is through Sunday night. You can see if you put them both together, this is where the precipitation is going to be. Heaviest down south, down here where that upper level low is going to be a little bit closer. Just kind of smatterings of precipitation and snow elsewhere in the cold. And speaking of cold, these are the temperature anomalies through Monday. So you can see how cold the western United States and central United States will be relative to average. So April off to a really cold start. However, not all bad news. By early next week, we have a high pressure ridge trying to build back up into the Rockies. So this will allow some warmer temperatures to move in, but it's a little bit messy. There's a little bit of a wave right here that'll crash the party in the Pacific Northwest as we get into late Sunday and Monday, bringing rain and snow there. This wave will kind of take the top of this ridge off. So as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we'll probably have a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity because of this wave across the central and northern Rockies. But right behind it, high pressure will rebuild again. So this is by Friday of next week. So as we get into next week, it's not going to be as warm or as nice as that period of weather we had there in late March, but it will be warmer. It will be more spring-like. We'll then await this next low coming in, and whether or not it comes in one piece or several pieces like what we've just experienced, we'll have to wait and see. But the next round of unsettled, colder, wet weather into the west is likely going to be right after this period of time, right after the 11th, probably as we get into the latter half of the weekend after this one, and then that will probably give us another extended period of cooler, unsettled, and hopefully, in many areas, wet weather again. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll have more for you tomorrow.